Greetings once again and welcome to Live with Chatufa. We are looking at a situation of Zanu PF in Zimbabwe, especially concerning the recently announced budget of Mthuli Ncube. The main issue that is at hand here is looking at the kind of budget that Mthuli Ncube brings. Not only this current one, we look into the previous budget and the one before. You discover one common trend that is within the budget of Mthuli Ncube, which is coming for taxation. So here we are simply looking at a government that is broke, a broke government that is supposed to be bringing a budget with money in it to the people to allocate to ministries so that the ministries can reach out and give services to the people. But they are actually coming to find a way of introducing taxes to milk money from the suffering masses of Zimbabwe. Why is this government broke? It's broke because of its own doing. Mnangagwa's government is broke because of Mnangagwa, his policies, and his corruption, and his incompetence. The problem is that the very same government officials or government chefs and bosses are the ones that Mnangagwa is allowing to steal money from the government. So ministries are having money being stolen by the top officials of that ministry until the coffers are empty. When coffers are empty, they don't have anything. The treasury will not have anything. There is corruption also in the different sectors of government. Every level, there is corruption. So when it comes to monies that are supposed to be revenue, that is supposed to be collected by government, there is no revenue at all. And then Mthuli Ncube won't be having anything in his pocket to come and say, we have such an amount of money that we are allocating back. And that is the problem. So in other words, Zanu PF is simply shooting itself in the foot. And at the end of the day, they want to look at other people or other things to blame. You hear them talking about sanctions. You hear them talking about El Nino. They talk about drought. They talk about rainfall. They talk about this and that. They talk about the white imperialists and the colonialists and all the like. And yet, we know the problem that is in Zimbabwe. The problem is a corrupt and dishonest government, simple and straight. So this current budget that Mthuli Ncube has just given has angered again many people, because more and more absurd kind of policies are coming up as he continues to bring more of these budgets of his. So this time, even Zanu PF, Apologists and Varakashi, they join in condemning Mnangagwa's finance minister. And this is really very pathetic, because what he has simply brought is an evil kind of budget, a budget that is anti-people, that is just there to make sure that life becomes difficult for the ordinary citizens of Zimbabwe. Obey Shava says here, B Metro, Umtuli selandela imali yamakhasi. And he says here, quiet, Vamtuli votsomana nemari enjuga. Just imagine, this is where we are, Bazalwan. So ZimLife is saying, I propose to introduce 10% withholding tax on gross winnings by sports betting punters. Mthuli Ncube budget 2025. Imagine that Mthuli Ncube wants to tax people. Varukuchova makas. This is funny. Zanu PF chief, what is wrong with these people? How do you want to tax Muna awina mabiza? Karamuna awina mabiza Mthuli Ncube ototi arutoda tax ipapo pa mabiza wawida. Where on earth have you ever heard anything like that? Where on earth, family, have you ever seen anything like this? So Mthuli Ncube is not even ashamed. Mnangagwa is not even ashamed. You know, they are taxing literally everything. Like we were saying yesterday, that they are taxing anyone who is cooking, from chips, tacos, whatever, fried, whatever. They are taxing everything. So we are looking at an evil government that does not care about the welfare of the people. How many of these people are rich? If you look at the people who are always in these betting places, they are poor people. They don't have anything, and most of them, they are unemployed. Maybe win something and something. Just look at, even on this picture, how many people do you think there are rich here? When you look at this kind of people, they are just poor people. And you want to take somebody for money that you walk to taxi pap. No, guys, The insanity that we are seeing in Zimbabwe is now over the roof. This is just too much. And I don't know why this insanity is in ZANU-PF and with Mthuli Ncube. Why these people of ZANU-PF are not talking to each other and saying, guys, you should get to a certain point where you say, no, enough is enough. This is just too much. We are now embarrassing ourselves with some of the things that we are doing. Indeed, it's embarrassing. Advocate Fadzai says here, you drive the latest big bed Range Rover for which you paid 0% import duty, yet you make a budget statement that squeezes every drop of blood from the taxpayer. You are not even ashamed that the country has a ballooning debt of over 21 billion. You cannot afford to pay. You cannot afford to pay teachers, or that you rely on food handouts during drought. To tap it all off, your solution to the economic crisis is to tax chickens and chips, njuga, and rental income. No wonder Zesa protested after you spoke by turning the lights off as a sign of darkness to come. The economy is dead and the country is on autopilot. The budget is anti-people, anti-productivity, anti-progress. It's a mess. Imagine that he even talks about wanting to tax the rent. Kuti iwe unemba yako, your house yawakaisa loja. Mthuli Ncube ari kutaura kuti ada kutekesa mari iyoyo. Roja rakupa rent yako. Iwe otonzi kwanzi Mthuli Ncube ototi pane yake ipapo. Just imagine, where on earth have you ever seen such kind of stupidity and foolishness? We are tired, man, of this evil ZANU-PF. We are just tired of this evil party. And I think it's a high time that Zimbabweans must fight. We must really fight. Otherwise, these people want to even tax us for breathing. Very, very soon we are going to be taxed for breathing. Because this is insane, I'm telling you. So it has gotten to levels that we have seen even ZANU-PF people themselves, ZANU-PF Varakashi, ZANU-PF apologists also getting fed up. And they are even talking about it also. So Tariro Aruti here, right? Because this is Matigari. Remember, Matigari is one of the top ZANU-PF apologists and supporters of Mnangagwa. But he came here and he said, you drive an expensive Range Rover SUV to present a budget proposal to tax chickens and chips. This is despicable. Just imagine. It's because they are tired. We've always been telling Varakashi and ZANU-PF apologists, guys, hakuna shop in the day with ZANU-PF. Your tax that is introducing is affecting ZANU-PF for even deep fair. 2030, you guys, Zimbabwe has been plunged into darkness. Mthuli Ncube is bringing every budget. Include the tax pads. Kusvika akuda kukutisira imba yako yawakavaka wega ukaisa roja rako wega wanzi pamari yeroja ipapo ndoda kutotorawo imwe naMthuli kuti vatore zvavo vanodya naMnangagwa vachitenga mamansions uko vari kuba gold, vari kuba nickel, vari kuba chrome, vari kuba lithium, vari kuba everything, but vanotoda mari yako iwe yawaonawo parendi yemba yako. And kune vanhu vanenge vachidaidzira kuti 2030 Mnangagwa. Do you really want us to get to 2030 in this kind of scenario? Vanhu veZANU-PF tikwanirei. Kwanai vanhu veZANU-PF, garai pasi mudzikame Varakashi. You must wake up and speak like vana Matigara. Vakutaura zvinomeka sense. Vanakudza mtisi ndeve ZANU-PF, but vakublema these things. They are lambasting zviri kuitwa nana Mthuli Ncube ne Ministry of Finance. So Mnangagwa is really up to no good. He wants to make sure that if it means he taxes you for putting on shoes, he doesn't care. So this is what it is, family. Very, very sad development indeed. What we are seeing happening in the country. That's why we continue to say we need to continue rising, standing up, fighting this battle until victory is certain. ZANU-PF iruti jairira. It's a high time that ZANU-PF must go. Zimbabwean people must rise up. Zimbabwean people must pray and ask the Lord to intervene in our situation. Otherwise, our situation is bad. Our situation is pathetic. Our situation is pain and tears and blood. Until Zimbabwe shall be free, we shall continue to see more taxes, more and more insanity that is coming from ZANU-PF, and we cannot allow that to continue happening. Why does Mnangagwa think that he is some kind of a god who wants to make sure that he taxes you for your own house? A house that you built with your own money is in a contribution here. Is illegal and evil government in it. And yet, when you are getting your revenue, they would want to come and say, "To not all shape up." Like, really? How does that happen? Who gives them the right to think that they can demand to take money willy-nilly from the people of Zimbabwe while they are causing poverty and suffering in Zimbabwe by stealing and being corrupt? Vachiba mari government, vachiba minerals also. Zimbabwe with 60-something minerals, 65, 66 minerals. We are failing to live a life in Botswana, yet Botswana only has one mineral, just diamond only. But we are suffering more than Botswana. All because of administration, all because of the leaders. We need new leaders. Zanu-PF must go. Mnangagwa must go. We must fight the fight of good faith until we get to victory. Victory for the Zimbabwean people is coming. And we as the people and intercessors, we need to continue standing up in prayer and putting pressure on Zanu-PF until they go. Now they have become a cancer in the region. Everyone is complaining. Namibians are crying about Zanu-PF. Mozambicans are crying about Zanu-PF. Botswana, we're complaining about Zanu-PF. Everyone is complaining about Zanu-PF. We definitely need to do something and see the back of these people. These witches and wizards, the sons of the devil, the sons of Belial, must go for Africa to be free, for Southern Africa to be free, and finally for our country, Zimbabwe, to be free. Family, I really want to appreciate you and thank you so much for joining me on the show. We will continue to be meeting on this show, on this platform, as we continue to discuss on issues happening in our country. Remember, as always, subscribe, like, and share. Put a comment, tell us what you think. And also, send a link to somebody. Share this gospel of freedom for Zimbabwe with somebody else. Otherwise, remain blessed. Shalom. Till we meet again tomorrow. You are blessed.